Good afternoon. A blue sky, sunshine. It's a nice way to kick off the afternoon. It wasn't too bad of a morning for most of us. We had some showers roll through. Those have kind of fallen apart, just a few remnant clouds, and we'll see a quiet day for the rest of the day until those storms fire up late tonight. Let's take a look at our temperatures. They're on their way up. We're in the 70s in eastern North Dakota and into Lakes Country, still into the 60s here in Baudette and places like Fosston as well. So that's where we have the cooler air, and it's definitely a lot warmer over toward Aberdeen, where we're at 84 degrees right now. So that's where the focus will be for the hottest temperatures here into the afternoon hours. Currently 75 in Fargo. Wind is out of the southeast. It's helping to usher in some warmer air and a little bit more moisture to help feed into the system that'll be bringing us storms late. We do have a couple of gusts into the 20s in Oaks and in Jamestown right now. And checking out your radar and satellite map, things are looking pretty quiet. We have a few spotty areas of cloud cover, and underneath those clouds, a couple of places where we're seeing some radar returns and maybe a couple of sprinkles. But for the most part, things are looking pretty dry right now in the valley and beyond. We are not seeing those storms fire up just yet. It's going to be a while. In fact, we may spend the whole day with some quiet weather until we get into the late night hours tonight. And here's how things are going to shape up in our hour-by-hour planner. So by 5 o'clock, temperatures in the mid-70s up in the northeast. We're at 88 degrees in Fargo, so very warm. And in fact, down in Ellendale, right along the South Dakota state line there, we may be in those 90s here for the afternoon hours. Wind still coming in out of the southeast and still relatively quiet for the most part. We're seeing clear skies. Heading into late tonight, even 8 o'clock, things are still looking pretty quiet for us in the valley. It's not until 9 and beyond, maybe even closer to midnight, and some models are indicating that we'll see those storms start to develop. So heading into the 10 o'clock hour, you can see that storm start to get going here on our hour-by-hour planner. And then that just kind of marches eastward, and we see that chance for storms in the southern two-thirds of the valley. I'd say that would be most likely we'd get severe weather, though we can't rule it out up north. And this is 2 a.m. with storms rumbling through Fargo at that point in time, continuing to march eastward. 5 a.m. waking up to some rain and thunder down in the southern valley especially. And then heading into the later morning hours, those do start to move on and we quiet things down. This is 9 a.m. looking a lot quieter at that point in time. So they may wake you up, but if you don't head into work till about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, you may miss out on having to drive through the rain. Of course, you might be a little tired from the storms moving through. This does quiet down. We get the sunshine. Wind out of the northwest brings us more into the 70s to some low 80s for highs tomorrow. So a slight risk for severe storms tonight. This area in yellow, basically Highway 2 south from there, is the best bet for severe weather. That's where we could see some damaging wind gusts, some large hail, and even as these storms are developing, can't rule out an isolated tornado, especially in our western viewing area where they'll start to develop. As they move eastward, wind and hail will become the greater threats. And all of the valley has that chance for some storms, some of us just a little bit at a greater risk than others. Our 7-day planner shows some temperatures back into the 80s for most days this week for Fargo. Up north, we might be more into the 70s. And Thursday, a nice little break from the active weather. And then heading into Friday, more storm chances even into the weekend. But at least the weekend will feel a little more like summertime than the last weekend we just had. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually wasn't here, so I don't know what it was like, but I'll take your word for it.
It was cool and windy.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Lisa.